all over the stove. No, we are back in the kitchen, and I have a hankering for macaroni and cheese. Now, I told you during my grocery haul that I picked up this penne noodle protein noodles, no yolk, and I wanted to try to make macaroni and cheese with it. So that's exactly what we're going to do today. ChatGPT told me a good recipe for this, so we're going to try it. Y'all know I'm trying to lose weight, but when you want macaroni and cheese, you want macaroni and cheese. Sometimes you just want that comfort food, and we want to try to make it as healthy as possible. So let's go ahead and make this, and let's see how it turns out. Okay, first of all, I have my noodles boiling and cooking. That's what's going all over the stove. But we are getting those worked on. Okay, so what we need to do next is I need a small pan. Hopefully this is big enough because that's all I have. And that is going to have to be big enough to cream cheese and heavy whipping cream. So a whole thing of cream cheese. So let's do that. So I'm going to cut it up so it melts nicer in here. I'm excited about this because I've been wanting macaroni and cheese for a while now, and I have not had pasta since I started keto 2 years ago. So I'm like, you know what? It's raining outside. It is the first day of summer. Happy first day of summer, by the way. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, even though you'll see it afterwards. And it is about 70 degrees outside and raining here. So, yep, doesn't feel like summer. So we are going to combat that and have some comfort food. And hopefully it turns out yummy. Okay, so 1 block of cream cheese. And I like to get as much as possible out of it. All I can. We're going to melt that down a little bit. We're going to keep stirring this so the pasta doesn't stick. I have about 8 ounces of pasta in here. Hopefully this is enough for what I want it for. Alright, that all melts down. So we have to melt that, and we also have to put a ½ cup of heavy whipping cream in here. So I'll get this melted down. Overflowing. We're just turning it into a mess. And the video is barely even started. I'm making a mess here. I put my fire out. There we go. Back in business. Alright, we have to melt this down. So I will be back when it's all melted. The cream cheese all melted along with the heavy whipping cream. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to add about 2 cups of freshly shredded cheese. I have Colby Jack. It's just because it's what I had on hand. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm just making a mess. And if I decide that I need more cheese, I have a plan. But we'll see how this goes. So we're going to melt the cheese down. This is going to be very cheesy. And I also decided to add another protein in it, and that is bacon. I have some bacon in the oven as well. So we're going to add bacon to this to give it even more flavor. And you decide how much cheese you want. You can always add more. Let me bring you a little bit closer so you can see. But I think I'm going to add, just to make it a little more cheesier, I have some cheese dip. And I think I'm going to add some of that in there. Why not? We're experimenting. We don't know unless we try, right? So I'm going to add a little bit of cheese dip in here. And that way, if you don't have shredded cheese on hand, you can use the cheese dip. But this is just going to give us a little extra flavor. And then once that gets melted in, just keep stirring that until it's all melted in. I had mine in the refrigerator, so a little cold. But it's getting there. How's everybody doing? I'm doing great. My daughter is up here from Tennessee. I've got to see my grandkids a couple of times. Matter of fact, they're coming over a little bit later to pick up a jacket that was left in my car. And I'm hoping that if I can get this done in time, I can send some of this macaroni and cheese home with them. Back to their Airbnb, so if they get a midnight craving, kids are always hungry. So you know they're going to always want macaroni and cheese. So this is Grandma's healthy macaroni and cheese, but we're not going to say anything about it being healthy. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of garlic powder. ChatGPT tells us to put in a teaspoon. So, yeah, I don't want to put in a whole lot because, I don't know, kids like that. And then 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard. So, we'll say about that. Just gives a little bit of flavor. Turn this heat down. They're only up here for one more day and then they go back home. It makes me sad, but I love being able to see my daughter and my grandkids, and they love living in Tennessee, and I'm here in Indiana and nobody seems to be moving anytime soon, so it is what it is, you know. You enjoy when they come up to visit and you look forward to the next time that you get to see them. Alright, so that is our cheese sauce. So let's go ahead and step over here a minute. Alright, I have my noodles all done. And here is the cheese sauce. We're going to mix that all in there. Oh my goodness. Smells good. And then when the bacon is done, I will put the bacon into this, and I'm just going to put it in the oven long enough to heat it all together and get those flavors all in here. But that's looking good. Alright, so I'll be back when the bacon is done. Alright, I got the bacon all ready. It's really hot, so I'm just going to crush it all up in here. Just to get some bacon bits all over the place in here. And then I'm just going to stick it in the oven and just let it all, the flavors meld together. I had to keep one piece of bacon aside for my doggie, because she loves her bacon. So we're letting that cool. I'm going to give her some a little bit later. Alright, so I'm going to stick this in the oven and I'll be back when it's done. Okay, it doesn't look much different than it did when it went in the oven, but it is done now and it's all creamy and yummy. So I'm going to let it sit for a little bit, let it cool, and then we're going to taste test it. And we're going to put some aside for the kiddos. So tonight I will probably just have this and a side salad, and then tomorrow night I am going to make us some pork chops to go along with it, because we'll have extras. But that is Grandma's mac and cheese, healthy mac and cheese, and we will see how the kids like it. You will not get their response, but I will have my daughter text us and let us know what they think. Okay, here we go. I got the kids set aside for them, and this is what I'm having. I'm having the macaroni and cheese and the side salad, and really creamy, and the bacon gives it a lot of extra flavor. You could add hamburger into it if you want to. You could put ham into it. I'm going to have a little bit left over for tomorrow because my husband will have a little bit tonight, and I'll put two sides together for tomorrow. And I will put pork chops with it tomorrow night. Sorry if you hear that shooting. They like to shoot out back, so doing target practicing. So it is really good. So I will put the recipe for you guys down in the description box below. And next time I think I'm going to add broccoli to it, because that'll make it even healthier. I know how kids are with broccoli, so I didn't want to ruin it. But I hope they like this, and once I find out, I will let you guys know. Hey guys, we are in the car because I have several things I'm doing today. So I'm gonna back out and talk to you a little bit. I'll get you caught up on what we're doing. But today is Sunday, and I have some things that I need to get done. And I scheduled myself to do a DoorDash today, and that's not until 3 o'clock. It's a little bit after noon right now, and I decided that I wanted to go to the thrift store. So I think we're going to go to the thrift store, and then I have some stuff to take to the laundromat. And it's pretty warm outside, and my car needs charged for air conditioning, so it's not very cool in here. So I decided to kill two birds with one stone, so to speak, and get some stuff done at the laundromat that I needed to get done. some rugs washed and things like that. And while I'm at the laundromat doing that, I can wait for DoorDash orders there rather than having to sit in my car waiting for them. So I'm going to head to the thrift store first, and then we're going to come back. I'm going to turn on DoorDash early, see if I can get on early. And I don't know how this is going to work, how much you guys are going to be able to see, because I do use my phone for everything. I don't have a GoPro extra camera for when I'm recording, so everything's done on my phone. So we'll see how this goes, but just trying to make it a productive day. And I have a new schedule that I'm doing in my barn as well for my business. And I'll probably be explaining that in this video. Otherwise, that might be a separate video. But today we're just going to the thrift store. I'm going to see what I can find there. Then we're going to turn on DoorDash, see if I get any dashing orders. We're going to head to the laundromat and get some clothes done over there, or get some items done over there that won't fit in my washer. All right, you'll get it once we start doing it. See you in a bit. Guys, we're here. It's 1 o'clock. I'm gonna give myself an hour to shop and see if I can find anything. So let's go ahead and go inside. I do not know how much I'm going to be able to record because it is busy today. So we'll see. Okay, friends. It's been an hour and I come out with quite a bit, but we're not gonna do a haul right now. I will do one at home. It is warmed up out here and I'm going to see if I can dash. So we're gonna give it a shot. This bug is, but it was in the back of my car. That's gross. It cost $22 just for those 2 washers right there. That's insane. If you guys go to the laundromat by you, let me know how much you have to pay. That's crazy. Okay, here's an update. I'm on the last of the drying and I've had 2 offers for dashes and both were no good. So that's just the way it goes. That's why I don't depend on DoorDash for anything. But I thought I would give it an experiment since I was uptown anyways. And, well, that didn't work out. But at least we found some good stuff at the thrift store, so stay tuned for a haul. Alrighty friends, it's a couple hours later. I had to come home and just relax. just the little bit I did today, my back was screaming at me. So I ate dinner, got some coffee, sat down and started watching a movie. Then I'm like, okay, let's get this video done and over with. So that is what we're going to do. Like I said, I have a haul for you guys. This is not a personal haul. This is things that I'm going to be reselling on eBay and all of my other platforms. So if this isn't something that you're interested in, I totally get it. And this will be the end of the video. So if you are not interested, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the rest of the video anyways. And I hope to see you next time. And if you are interested in this haul, stick with me. Let's get into this. Alright, so let's see, where do I want to start? These were actually from a yard sale that I went to last week. I think maybe they've probably been in my car a week and I didn't realize they were in there. Some little kid was having a garage sale and he was selling comics. Now, I don't know if these are worth anything. Probably not. They're probably newer. And most of the time, collectors of comics, they want mint condition. And these are not. They're not in bad condition considering they were a kid. Let's see. I'm going to try to see if I can find a date. They are from 1990, so they are a little bit older. So I'll see if they are worth anything, if they're worth selling. If not, I know the perfect little boy that might want these. So, not a waste of money. I helped a little boy, and if I can make a couple bucks off them, great. If not, then I have a happy little boy in my hand. Alright, so today I went to the thrift store. I get so focused on what I'm doing in there, I totally forgot to record. I was in work mode, and so sorry about that, and it was kind of busy, so it would have been hard anyways, and there really wasn't anything exciting to show you, so there's that. Anyways, I did pick up some things that I thought maybe might do okay on eBay. Matter of fact, this is one of them. This is an old sewing book. It was printed in the USA, and what it is, it kind of reminds me of those years ago we were able to order one of these and it had recipes in it. You guys know what I'm talking about if you're my age, around there. This has sewing items in it. So it's all about sewing. Okay? So I don't know why this caught my eye. It was only, I think she only charged me like maybe $3 for all of these books. So I picked up this one. It says it has 1 and 2 in there. And then I picked up, these are heavy, but this says it has 3 in it. So this has different things in it than the other one does. It says 2 and 3. So I'm gonna go through them a little bit better, but she only charged me a couple bucks for them. And then I picked up this one. There was 3 there. And this says 4 and 5. Oh my gosh, they're hard. But as you can see, like sewing step-by-step guides to sewing terms. So I thought somebody who might like to sew might enjoy this, or somebody who just likes, you know, collecting this kind of thing. Who knows? I don't know why people buy what they buy, but you know, I sell it and they buy it and they're happy. So that's pretty much what it is. It teaches you how to sew in all 3 of these. And I remember, I cannot remember the name of it, but I remember years ago, I want to say it was in the 90s. Correct me if I'm wrong. but every month you would get like a new recipe and you could put it in the book, and that was kind of fun. So I don't think I ever finished the collection, but I did start. Whatever happened to that probably got donated over the years. So needless to say, I paid like $2 or $3 for all 3 of these. And they do actually look like they go for a pretty decent price on eBay. And I will sell them all together. Okay, something else that caught my eye that I picked up. I love finding this kind of stuff. This is vintage too. And there are 2 of these. Look how cute those are. They're little candlestick holders that look like birdhouses. And these are home interiors though, so they're from Home Interior. So what, 90s again? 80s, 90s? Sounds about right. This one I think is a little bit, yeah, this one's a little bit loose. So what I'll do is I'll just put a little bit of glue on there just to hold it so it doesn't break. But I thought those were cute, and Home can go pretty good. And those are really, really cute. And those were $2 a piece. And then for Christmas, I love, not only do I use village pieces to decorate for Christmas, I love selling them. They are always my biggest seller. And so I was ecstatic to actually find this. And this is a village accessory fieldstone wall with apple tree. And it is by Department 56, and I only paid $4 for it. And it is in good condition. I love, love, love finding this stuff. I have not found any Christmas stuff this year. So this really isn't even Christmas. You can use it for fall. That's even better. But that's what it looks like. How cute is that? So if you put up a village for fall, you could put that on there, or even just as a decoration on a shelf or a coffee bar. How cute is that? So I was really excited to find that. Anything Department 56 I love finding. And I have a huge garage sale, well, church rummage sale coming up the end of July. I am excited for. As a matter of fact, my husband took the day off. He took a vacation day for it because it's one of those rummage sales that you have to spend all day there. And we always come back with truckload full of stuff, and that's what I need. I need to find that kind of stuff, and that's usually when we find our village pieces at that. But this year, I usually find village pieces. I feel like I'm a little crooked here. Okay, saying it straight now. That was kind of bothering me. I haven't found any village pieces at any garage sales or yard sales that I've been to this year. And I take that back. I have. They've just been too expensive. So, you know, it is what it is. People need to make money, and if it's not at the right price for me, somebody else will come along and buy it. You know, it is what it is. But by now I'm usually bringing in all these Christmas village pieces, and I have not brought in one. So, all right, let's see. Everything I got was so bulky. This I had to pick up. Okay, here's my receipt. The books she charged me $4 for all those books, so that's not bad. Okay, here's these. These are cast iron, and they are roosters. Can't break those. These were $3 a piece, and they are vintage. Don't have anything on the back, but when I did look them up, it looks like they go for pretty good. And they are in good condition. People can hang these inside the house, or they can hang them outside, wherever they want, because they will definitely hold up during the weather. I just picked up an eagle and listed it the other day. So I'm hoping that sells for at least 4th of July. That would be really cool. But, yeah. So those two things, $6 for both of those. And then this, well, I'll show you what's in it first. Okay. I'll take it. I got a couple of little things. Okay, I'll show you the big thing, get it out of the way. I picked up this. This is one of those things, I paid $3 for it. It's one of those things that you could store shoes inside of if you want to. But I'm always needing some kind of storage out here, so this I'm keeping, and I'm going to use it for some sort of storage. You can take the bottom off, or you can open it like this. And they're usually not all that cheap, so if I wanted to sell it, I could, but for this, I am keeping for myself just to use. Always need more storage. Okay, now you're gonna kind of laugh at this next stuff, but honestly, this stuff really sells, and I'm not kidding. And you can get it for pennies. I paid $1 a piece for these. They're pantyhose. Yeah, people still wear pantyhose. If they are in a corporate job, a lot of times if they have to wear a dress or, you know, slacks or something, they'll wear pantyhose still. I always thought that pantyhose were out of style, but you know, if you wait long enough, things come back around. And there's people out there like me who don't care about the style. They like the comfort. So, you know, who cares if these aren't in style? There's people out there who still use them. And these two are both a size average and a smoky gray and a bone, and they're brand spanking new. Only paid $1 a piece. Now, I won't make retirement money on these, but I will at least probably triple my money on this. So easy to ship. It's light. Throw it on a poly mailer, collect my money, everybody's happy. So I like to pick up this kind of stuff because it's just easy. It's easy to photograph. I might take four photos of each one of them and list it. I'm going to list them together so they have a pair. And then I'm going to price it whatever comps are saying are worth it and easy to store. So, yep, I like to have a variety in my store. It's just, I'm a sell everything kind of person. Just whatever catches my eye. Now, you might really laugh at this one, because I kind of did. And I'm like, I looked at it and I'm like, this thing ain't gonna sell on eBay. There ain't no way. I paid $2 for it. I looked it up. I was pleasantly surprised. Now, when you're looking comps up, you have to look at how many is available and how many has sold. There was 11 available of these, okay? 10 have sold. That is a good sell-through rate. Now, if you see 200 and no solds, not so good of a sell-through rate. But for something like this, and I seen them selling for about $19 to $25 for this. Yeah. So, you know, sometimes as a reseller, we're always out there looking for that big, huge thing that's going to bring us the most money, and sometimes it's right in front of your face. I paid $2 and I might get $25 out of it. Even if I gave them free shipping, I'd still make about $20, $18 on it. that's a good deal for me, because photo of the front, photo of the back, easy to store away until it sells. And then it sells, I put it in a poly mailer with their label, and away it goes. It takes 2 seconds. I will take that. Okay, we have this. This is $2. I picked this up for myself because one doesn't go for very much on eBay. It goes for about $3 and I paid $2. So there's no profit there by the time that they take the fees out and everything. So this I'm keeping for myself. But if you can find more than one of these, say you have 6 of them laying around brand new, you probably could get $35 for them. So unfortunately this was the only one I could find, and I can use it for myself. So there's that. Alright, and then the last thing I picked up is actually for me, and sometimes I'm a little kid at heart. And if you guys know, I drive a Jeep Compass, and the whole time I've had a Jeep, I have never been ducked. If you know anything about Jeeps, people who drive Jeeps, you put rubber duckies on them all the time, and just to support other Jeep lovers. And I always tell my husband, I says, I think it's because everybody thinks that my Jeep is like a wannabe Jeep, you know, it's not one of those big fancy Jeeps. But I've never been ducked, so I'm gonna duck myself. And I don't know, this is one of those blind bag things. It was only $1 and I could not resist. They had a ton of little ducks there I could have chose for myself, but I thought, you know what, let's go ahead and pick one of these up and we will see what we can get. So let's see, I'll tell you which one I would like to be in here. They're all very, very cute. I would like to have the donut one or the cow. Those are both really, really cute. But these are your options, I guess. So we're gonna open it and see what kind of duck there is. Oh, I got a black duck. I got an 8-ball. I got an 8-ball duck. Alright, that's cool. I'll take it. So now I have been ducked, even if it was from me. It doesn't squeak though. So I am going to actually put this in my Jeep on my dashboard, and he's gonna ride around with me. I've actually had other ducks in there, and my husband bought me this big huge one when I first got the Jeep, and that thing was flying all over the place and I ended up throwing in the back seat. So this one is much better because he's small, and I can maybe put some Velcro on the bottom of him so he can stay in place so he is not quacking all the way around. So I got an 8. Alright, so that is my video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, make sure you give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I hope you all have a great week. Stay blessed.